So here's some bonus content to this series. Sometimes styling these browse button can be a pain in the butt. So if you want to style it better, let's say you want this to look more like a button or something, there's a better way to do it than using this browse button. So let's see how we can quickly do something similar to that. So I'll go to my upload.php here, and let's find where the HTML is. So this is the input. Actually, the input files are down here. So I want to create something else. If I try to, if for some reason I try to style this, it's not going to look this good. So let's do that here. I'll put a class file here, and let's just call this one button, like that. And let's come up here and let's do dot button, like so, so that you can see what I mean. If I say background color and say black, for example, and I say let's try width 150 pixels, something like this, and let's try a height maybe of 30 pixels, like that. Let's see what happens. So as you can see, it's not really happening the way we want it to look. This is not looking so good at all. So instead of trying to style this cumbersome thing, and also the problem is it doesn't look the same on all browsers. Some different browsers will call it select instead of browse and so on. So this is a pain in the butt. So instead of trying to style this, we will style something else. So what we will do is I will add a label instead. So I'm going to add a label on each and every one of these. So I'll say a label, no, like that. So instead I will put this inside a label. Okay, so maybe at this point these required might not work, but we'll see. Maybe they will show up, but because we're going to hide this at the end of the day. So here instead I will say select, like that. So let me come back here and show you what's happening here. So there's a select here and there's this thing, but if I click on the select, because this is inside the label, if I click on this, it still brings this browser here. So which means I can actually remove this entirely. So I will say something like style. Let me just put a style here and say display none, like so. So let me come back here and let's see that. So now I have just this text, and when I click, it's going to allow me to select something, just like that. So it's still selecting and adding an item to this. It's just that I can't see this anymore. So I will remove the required because it may confuse someone who cannot see it reacting. Let me refresh this and try to upload. So you see these ones get this red outline here to show that somebody must add it, but except this one. So they might be wondering why the form is not uploading. It's better it uploads and brings an error at the top there. So let me remove all these required here, like so. Okay, and then let's do the same thing here. So select, let's do that label thingy, like that. So that's one of these, and let me copy here and paste there. Same thing, copy label, like that. Ooh, too many of these. So I can say select file 1, select file 2. So that's entirely up to you how you want to do these, but the class button should be on the label now. So I'll move the class button to the label, like so. Copy the same and put it here. And then of course here style is equal to none will be on this input, like so. Okay, so file 2, let me copy exactly this for file 3. That's 3. Let's go down, copy that label like so. Let's do the same thing here, paste that label, but still I need that file number 4 like that, and then style display none should be present. Copy, replace this class, oh, not this one but this one in the input. So replace the one in the input with display none. Okay, right, so the reason we have those black things is because we are styling the label now, but the advantage now is that we can add a better color for the label. For, let's say color is equal to white. Let's increase the height a little bit. It looks much better when it's thicker. Okay, and then let's also change the display to inline block. That way it can be thick. Okay, like that. Okay, so instead of that too much height, let's do that, and then I'll add some padding, 10 pixels. Let's see how that looks. Okay, the width is too much, so let's try 100. Much better. And now let's try add some border radius, 5 or maybe 10 pixels, something like this. Okay, so maybe padding should be 15 just to move it to the center. Maybe not so much. So height, let's try 25, and this one 90. Okay, much better. And let's add a cursor now. Cursor, pointer. But let's change our background color to something more reasonable. But as you can see, the point here is that this is more stylable. This looks more like something you can style freely. But still, when you click, it still gets you the option to select a file and so on. Now, if you want to be, wait a minute here, what's this? This is still too high, so let me put it at 85 and this one at 20. And let me paste that background color over there. Oh, that's way too little, I guess. We don't need it like that. Let's just leave it at 90. That's better. Okay, so you click. Now the issue is that it doesn't show you that a file has been added here. So let me cancel here. So if I add a file here, I can't see that the file has been added. So maybe we might change the background color if it contains a file, and we can actually do that using some JavaScript. So let me come back here. Yes. So all these that have type file, like input type file, like that, we can add an event listener, or we can just add it right here. Let's just do that here, and we're just going to say on change. If something changes here, just let's do a change color. Let's do that, change underscore color, and then let's put an event. Actually, let's do this dot files. So what we're doing here, we are telling it to send the files that it contains, right, to my JavaScript function. But also we need the object itself, this. So I will put this at the end here and just say this, like so. So we are sending the object itself and its files. So let's go to change color right there. Okay, so it's in the footer that we have to go and put our stuff. Now remember that we have isolated our stuff in here, so we must make it like this. The function should be something like this. So I will just duplicate this here to make it easier and change that to change color. And then the function will get files, and also it will get the element, because that's what we've sent. Okay, so at this point we just want to change the element if we find that it has files. So I'm just going to copy this and say if files.length is greater than 0, which means things are good, then we'll say the element dot style dot background color, like so, is equal to, let's try pink, like so. Right, so let's give it a spin. If I click here and add a file, it's not working, so let's just inspect the console. Slider container is no, change color is not defined. So wait, slider container is no. Okay, so usually this happens because we've messed up some code somewhere, because it's saying change color is not defined. So window that is equal to function. So I may have missed something. So it's very possible that let's come back here to not the home, but oh, the upload. Where are we? There we go. So it is possible that we are messing things up here. So on change, let me come back here, refresh. So these errors are happening even before we click anything. So it's possible that let me change this to event for a second here. Maybe that's where the problem is. Let me put that here. Let's try again. Okay, so we still have that problem. Let me remove this and see if the problem persists. Save. Okay, so the problem persists there, so this is not our issue. It seems our issue here is not with what we've just written, because slider container is no. This slider container is the one when, if I click here and go here, now it's defined. This is the slider container. So I think that code should only be on the single view item here. That's where it should be. So let's change things a little bit. So change color here. Let me remove this. We don't need it here. So let me take it to my upload section, and I will just add it just before the footer here. I'll add a script tag and paste it there. So I don't need to do window dot because it's just outside, but I can put it in that container as well if I want to, just to isolate it. But for now, I think let's let it be. And then let me go back to the upload section. So slider container is no, but let's give it a shot and see if this works. Okay, so reference file is not defined. So file is not defined. Where is that? Let me click there. So if file.length is greater than 0, so that's my bad, because I'm supposed to say if files. There we go. So refresh again. Let's go there. Let's try again. Where is the console? Okay, so no errors, and at the same time nothing has changed. So why is that? So element dot style dot background color. Okay, so maybe instead of sending this, let's send the event for a second. I'm used to working with the event. So I will copy that onto here. Okay, so here I will just put E instead. So I'm just going to say E dot target. In fact, let me use current target, because current target will get the one that had the on-click listener. Oh, actually, maybe here I have a problem. Let me do this var. Actually, let's change this a little bit. Let me do this, even though this works just fine. I'll do this. I'll say function change color house equals. Okay, there we go. So fresh, click there. Okay, so things are not changing still. Why is this happening? Okay, let's try and fix this a little bit. Let's see. E.current target. So what I will do is I just want it to console.log the current target like that. .log. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so it is getting the item here. Oh, sorry, this is my bad. These are the issues that we don't see. So the thing is, the on-click listener is here, and the item that we are trying to change the color is the label. So this is entirely my fault. So what I will do is copy this and put it on. Actually, no, I shouldn't do this. Because I want to only know when somebody actually adds something here and not when they click on this thing. So I will leave this here, but I'll tell it to deal with the parent instead. So I'll say current target dot parent node like that. Change the style of the parent. So I'll refresh, click that and do that, and there we go. So this way you get to know which ones have their files added. So you can do all kinds of things, because JavaScript can change anything on here. So that way a user can know what's going on. Or instead of pink, let's add purple like that. So let me refresh the page. Let's do this. Yeah, much better. So that way they can know where they have actually added already. Now this error here, slider container is no, is because we are trying to, let me go to the footer here. To stop this, we have to get all this JavaScript, because this JavaScript is only required on one single page, and that page is, let me cut that. That page is the single item, which is here. So I will put that code just above the footer tag. So let me refresh and I will not see that error anymore. Okay, so very good. If I go home, now I can click on these and everything still works fine. Okay, so I hope you've learned one thing here, one or two things, and I will see you in another tutorial.